Raw is the big dog in this fight between the two brands of WWE, and sometimes being the bigger dog of the two can actually give you some properties that in turn make you better. My name is John, and these are 10 reasons Raw is better than SmackDown Live. I feel as though the role of Triple H being a creator and coming back when tempted with the need to destroy is a perfect way to use him. The fans know just how good he is in the ring, and especially know how much he cares about the fine details and storylines as well. So having the game come onto Raw for a feud and also include and place people into the main event without trying to drop a title to them at WrestleMania is a win in my book. Now, you would think that it would be a no-brainer to say that Raw is better because they've got the Cruiserweights, but 205 Live happens right after SmackDown Live, so the fans in attendance get to see the Cruiserweights at both shows. Since it's technically not a part of SmackDown Live, the Cruiserweights give Raw reason to utilize the 3-hour time frame and provide for high-flying action that you can only see elsewhere on the WWE Network. Corey Graves is one of the best all-around commentators in the WWE. He can do anything from interviews, discussion panels, YouTube videos, and is one of the, if not the greatest heel commentators of all time. He has a great look, an awesome voice, and style to further back up his skills on the microphone. In the previous video where I went over why SmackDown Live was better than Raw, I pretty much derailed on why having a 3-hour show wasn't great as fans could get bored and trying to fill a larger card can cause dips in terms of quality since you're increasing the quantity. With that being said, there are some benefits. There's not only more of a guarantee for time on the microphone, but we get to see more types of matches, for example squash matches featuring a giant like Strowman or Nia Jax destroying a local competitor. Okay, Byron Saxton is really only on this list because of SmackDown having David Otunga. Saxton has been commentating since his early days in FCW, so this is his time to shine, and he's honestly improved. Furthermore, his back and forth banter with Corey Graves is just absolutely wonderful. However, while I think David Otunga is not bad on commentary, as he has more intellect than a certain wrestling god we may know, but he just lacks energy on the microphone. And what is this smirk? Why does he always have this face? 'Cause he's a Harvard lawyer, Morrow! I would say one of Raw's strongest points is having Stephanie and Mick Foley as both general manager and commissioner. Now hold on, don't go ballistic on how Mick always flubs his lines and Stephanie is still the villainous person that she was whenever she was so heavily involved in the Authority, but having two opposing forces coming from two different perspectives allows for more drama amongst the fans, as they won't be able to predict who will make certain matches throughout the night. On the other hand, the way the Universal Championship has been booked since its inception has been pretty predictable. Once Finn Balor came to the main roster and was announced to have an opportunity to be in contention for the title, the fans knew he would win, and he did. Then he was forced to vacate the title, which left us with Rollins, Reigns, Owens, or Big Cass. No one saw Triple H coming, but everyone wanted KO to win. And hey, since he won, that means that WWE are listening to what the fans want. Or what you want just so happens to be what they want. Yeah, don't get too excited now because they're predictable. Obviously, Monday Night Raw is the flagship program and draws in more viewers on a night-to-night basis than SmackDown Live. While SmackDown did get one victory over Raw, it still just doesn't compare to the wins Raw has been and is still racking up. Pretty simple, Raw gets more views, Raw is better, right? Chris Jericho has once again got the fans interested in him as a performer by introducing his new stupid idiot reincarnation of himself. Honestly, Jericho alone has been involved in so many segments that are always hilarious, and his chemistry with Kevin Owens is incredible too. And now I'm kind of sad. On top of that, he's got the list of Jericho. He's been in the epicenter of so many controversial interferences to help his friend retain his title, and he is the freaking United States champion. He is a national treasure, and he makes this list for why Raw is better than SmackDown Live. This could also be viewed as a huge downside to Raw, is having guys like Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, and The Undertaker. The downside being that they take time away from younger guys that should have already been pushed to the top of the mountain correctly and gotten over with the fans. But that doesn't happen all the time, so WWE will need to rely on bigger and already established names from the past for their flagship show. But on a positive note, having Goldberg for say return and face off against a guy like Kevin Owens really benefits KO in terms of getting him more exposure. No one would have ever imagined Kevin Owens facing off against Bill Goldberg for the Universal title before Goldberg returned. So having guys like him, Lesnar, and Taker allows for these guys to be with someone who is at that level and the level that they're trying to get at, and at the very least creates a dream match atmosphere. And these were 10 reasons Raw is better than SmackDown Live. I hope you're all having an awesome day. Thank you so much for watching Wrestling Hub, and I'll see you later with more wrestling videos.